Ms. Colley has said that I could come and speak with you today. My name is Dorris Ellis Robinson. I am published editor of the Houston Sun newspaper. Right now I'm working on a project that is meaningful to all of us, and that is to save the bricks that's in 4th Ward.
Yeah, I heard it on the radio.
You heard it on the radio?
What Colley mom saying?
Ma'am?
What Colley mom we talking about?
Yeah,
Save the bricks?
right, we've been working on it for the last 5 weeks, real hard. Because the city has decided that it will remove the bricks to provide infrastructure. The infrastructure is needed, but we have a different way as to how we think it should be placed. We are with the Freedmen's Town Preservation Coalition. We have Ms. Lou Williams here, we have Ms. Priscilla Graham. And we've been working really hard since the end of June. Because on June 11th, the city of Houston decided to forego or get rid of an agreement that was made by the preservation groups in Freedmen's Town in 4th Ward and Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And when they did that, that made us come together as a group to say, okay, no, we must save those bricks. The bricks was placed between 1913 and 1920. Money for the bricks was provided by the household owners. They decided that they wanted to improve their neighborhood. They had tried for 6 years to get the city of Houston to work with them to improve their neighborhood, but the city had refused. So in 1913, the city said, yes, you can do it, but you will pay for your own bricks. And so the men and women got together and they paid $125 per household for those bricks. And then the city said, well, you can pay for your own bricks, but you must also get a white contractor. And that's what they agreed to. So they were able to get the bricks placed because they abided by what the city had said. Now, 100 years later, the bricks are in need of repair. And there's a process, but back in 1984, the area in Freedmen's Town was designated a historical district. And once it was designated a historical district, certain standards applied, and those standards came about under the National Historic Preservation Act. And so, if the city is going to do anything in that area, they must contact people like yourselves, people like us, because we are called the consultant groups. And Ms. Williams and her group have been working for many years, and they were not consulted as to what the mayor and the city council voted on June 11th. Now mind you, all 16 city council members and the mayor voted to destroy those bricks. So not one said no. And since they all said yes, regardless of where you live in the city, you have an opportunity, and hopefully you feel an obligation, to talk to your city council person and say, we want to preserve those bricks. Preserve means that we'll clean them up, we assure them up, but we're not going to take them out. You have nice floors here, but if somebody comes and take up your floor, it is not the same as it was before they took it up. So we're saying, do not lift the bricks. Tunnel, do your work underneath the brick. There's all kind of technology right now that would allow for the city to do it. The city must have the will and the desire to make it happen. And we're calling on you, our elders, to come to city council on Tuesday next week. I'm hopeful that Ms. Colley and all of you all could get together and come down, wear black and white. You can talk if you want to, you can get on the agenda to speak. If you want to get on the agenda to speak, you talk to Ms. Williams and she'll get you set up for that. You can just come and sit so that those elected officials whom you have to put into office did not think enough of those bricks to say, no, do not destroy them. That's why we're calling on the senior citizens. Other people have been down there, but now I think it's time for you all to come to speak. Why? Because your age is closer to when those bricks were placed. You have children, you have grandchildren, and some of you probably have great-grandchildren. Your great-grandchildren can go and touch those bricks and say, this is what my ancestors left right after they came out of slavery. They had to be smart because they knew how to make it happen. They were not so depressed. They were not so beaten down by enslavement that they could not take care of their community. And now, I want us to take care of that part of the community that they left for us to take care of. Because if we don't take care of that community, there is no one else to do it. So that's why we're here today. We have the petition. We want you to sign the petition. And we want you to help preserve those bricks that were left by the freedmen in Freedmen's Town. We're going to have several activities going on. As I said, I want you at City Hall on Tuesday next week at 1:30. And Winnie, I hope that you can help get some of them out there. Wear it black and white, 1:30 Tuesday next week. Also on Sunday at 6, from between 6 and 7, we're going to have what is called our second Preservation Sunday. Preservation Sunday will come to the point of Andrews and Wilson. So that's all that's left. Everything else is already gone. Everything else is already gone. So we want you to come to Andrews and Wilson. You know, if you don't want to come out there, tell your children and your grandchildren, they need to come to Andrews and Wilson on Sunday at 6 p.m. Why? We're going to have a visual and a little program out there at that time to discuss the background of the bricks and to try to gain support to get them also to City Hall on Tuesday. And then on Monday at 6 o'clock at night, we're going to have a town hall meeting where everybody in the city is invited to come, and we're going to have discussion, information about what is going on and how important it is to make things happen as it relates to saving those bricks. This is our last opportunity, ladies and gentlemen. We need to make a real stand, push it, and let all of them know. Remember, every last one of them voted to destroy those bricks. There was not a one who said, no, I don't think that's right. And to me, that touches my heart because it lets me know that we still have a big job to do. We have 4 African American males on that city council. Okay? One learned about it and it was tagged. But the next week, everybody voted on it. Okay? And I don't know whether we tell our elected officials that when they go down there to do whatever they do to represent us, maybe they ought to have a system by which they let us know what's going on. Because if they do things that makes us subject to losses, it's more difficult for us to gain a victory, okay, to recover from that. And that's what the Freedmen's Town Preservation Coalition has been trying to do over the last 5 weeks or so, is to recover from the actions that they took. They can start bulldozing those bricks in a day. They may be doing it right now. I don't know. Because once they took the action, it was the opportunity for them to get to work because they have let the contract. The contract is out, and there is a way to change it. The way to change it is to ask the mayor and the council to rescind the vote. Houston is a strong mayoral system, and the mayor will have to place it back on the agenda. So we have, you can make phone calls, you can do emails. I don't know if you all do emails out of here, but you can make the phone calls and contact them. And again, contact your city council person. Hey, I am Jim Snow. I am from District D. I need you to rescind that vote and get that item back on the agenda. You need to tell them. We're asking you to tell them. Because your help can make all the difference. You know why? Because you all are real voters. You all vote. And a constituent is somebody very serious to an elected official because you vote. You are the ones who put them in office, and you are the ones who can take them out of office and choose someone else who may represent you. Because I don't believe that we were adequately represented on June 11th. Okay? You have any questions? Oh, let me. Okay, I did we got the rally. We have the town hall meeting. Okay, the town hall meeting is also the town hall meeting is Monday, the 18th at 7 p.m. That's going to be at Mount Horde Missionary Baptist Church. It's on Gray Street, 118 Gray Street. That is Reverend Smith, Samuel Smith's church. So we're going to be meeting there. And again, please come, tell your friends, tell your young people to bring you if you don't drive. Even if you don't drive, we will get out in time for you to leave and still, even if you do drive, we will get out in time for you to get back home before dark. So we really do need you. We need to call on the elders. And this reminds me, as I stand here, when I was a teenager in the great state of Mississippi, Dr. Martin Luther King was coming through Mississippi. And they asked the elders to go and face the dogs and the water so that children like me would have an opportunity to have some degree of success. They called on the elder. My grandfather, who was a farmer, left the field, took off his overalls, went and took a bath in the tin tub, you know, the tin round tub, put on his suit and tie to go and face the dogs and the water and those horrible police people so that I could possibly have an opportunity. There's a time when the elders must stand, and we must stand for the young people, because if we don't stand for the young people, they may not have an opportunity. And my grandfather said that he was going because he hoped one day that I would make something out of my life and do something. And he said that he promised to turn over in his grave once I did it. And so I always make the joke, I said, I bet that man is still laying straight up. You know? Yeah, he hasn't turned over yet. So Papa, I hope that you're ready to at least make a half turn or something. But we need you all. We need you all just as my grandfather was called upon when I was a teenager, so that I could be here today to be willing to stand and talk to you about it. You know, and that is important. I'm hopeful that you're hearing what I'm saying. I'm hopeful that a little bit of it will touch you for the future of your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren, so that they too one day will stand. Because as we listen to the news throughout the nation, we're having a tough month when it comes to African-American males. And somewhere our voices must be heard. And sometimes if we don't speak, our voices will not be heard. They'll think it's just all right. They'll think it's just all right, and it's not all right. It's not all right, and it's not all right what they're doing with these bricks. Because I know that you can see what people did long ago, and you knew about the harsh times that they had to endure, and they excelled anyway. That will give you inspiration. And we need those bricks to be there for inspiration to the children who will come after us. Any questions? Any questions? Okay, you got your dates. We have Sunday,
And what
the
time?
17th at 6 p.m. We're going to go to Wilson and Andrews Street. The headquarters is 1314 Andrews. That's the Rutherford Yates Museum. So we're going to have water and so forth there. Okay? That's for 1 hour. All right? We're going to have prayer, discussion, libation, look at the bricks, touch the bricks, see them for the first time maybe, and to try to visualize the Yoruba pattern, because the bricks, according to archaeologists, have a Yoruba pattern, which means that those people who have been enslaved kept it in their minds as to what that pattern was for freedom, okay, for liberty. And that pattern is there so that our children can see it, so that they can understand the beauty of freedom. What does it open up in our brains, the opportunity that it provides for us. Then we have on the Monday at the 18th at 7 o'clock, from 7 until 9, we're going to be at Mount Horde Missionary Baptist Church. That is for the town hall meetings. We're going to give a second report to the community as to what we've been doing. And then on Tuesday, we want you all to get into the van and come down to City Hall. You don't have to talk unless you want to. If you want to talk, you're going to see Miss Williams. If you don't want to talk, you just come and sit. They need to see the passion, because you got up and came down there. And they know that old folk like me and you have arthritis, but we got up and came. That's a message within itself. We had to put our clothes on to get up and come down there. We had to get over to this center to get down there. That's a statement. And that's a serious statement. You don't have to say a word. My mama used to tell us when we were kids, she had 10 of us. She said, sometimes as a parent, you need to go to the school. You don't need to say anything sometimes. Just go sit in the classroom and cross your legs. I have told my daughters that. I've told my son that sometimes you need to go sit. They just need to see you. And if they keep seeing you, their behavior will change. And that's what we're trying to make happen. It's not just she wanted the teachers to see her. She wanted us to see her, to change our behavior. Because you don't want mama coming up to the school all the time. That becomes a problem. The city council and the mayor does not want you coming down to City Hall all the time. That creates a problem for them. So we want you to help with this solution, because we're all citizens of America. This is a solution that can be handled, but we have to give them the will to make them want to take care of it. Okay? Follow the law. If they don't follow that law, the city is at risk. It's at risk because they have accepted $500,000 one time and possibly 2 times from Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee to deal with this issue. And once they spent that federal money, they create the possibility of having all of the federal money that comes into the city to be at risk. And we want them to get it right so they won't lose other money, because that money comes back, to all of us right here. Yes, ma'am, Ms. Williams. Okay. And the third item is to come to City Council on Tuesday with your white and black on, sit or talk. That's at 1:30. And at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, I'm sorry, that's Tuesday, come to City Council. Did I say Thursday? Tuesday, come to City Council at 1:30. Then on Tuesday at 4 o'clock, we're gonna have a visual, okay, on the steps of City Hall. I got that confirmed today before I left my office. That is under our First Amendment rights. And being in the newspaper industry, I do know about the First Amendment. It says we can gather today. It says I can print my newspaper. It says you can gather at your church, and you can petition. And so we're participating in our First Amendment today. And I bet before you eat that meal, you're going to pray, and in any prayer you want to, and that's all under that First Amendment. So we will assemble at 4 o'clock on Tuesday on the steps of City Hall. And we would like for you to be there if you can. I know it may be asking a lot, but hopefully I want you to put it in your heart that you're doing it for the future of our community. You're doing it for your ancestors. You're doing it for those little boys and girls that's going to come up and grow up looking like you. And you need to leave something. We need to leave something so they will be proud of. And they will be able to say, Grandpa came to this rally. Grandma came because when we save the bricks, they may ask, did you help save the bricks, Grandma and Grandpa? And your answer needs to be yes. Your answer I tell you, it needs to be yes. Okay? Because we are leaving a legacy for our children. And you leave the legacy based on the work that you do. And somebody has got to do it, so why not me and you? Okay? And while you all are out in the visual, at 4 o'clock on Tuesday, we're going to go in to have a meeting with the mayor and whomever else she chooses. We're going to make a personal appeal to her to save those bricks. But it would be a lot more impactful if you all are out there sitting down, drinking water on the steps, whatever. It's your city hall, it's our government. To sit there and be there when we go into that meeting. Because it's critical that we save. We're looking for preservation. Can you say that? Preservation. We want to preserve. Like I love pear preserve. Would eat it and love it still today. Can eat it with any meal. Put it on the side, do it for breakfast, ham, whatever. I'm from the country, I can eat my pear preserve. So we want to preserve the bricks. We aren't talking about restoring anything. We're talking preservation. got it?
All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Who represents the district?
What, District D where we are, that's,
No, Freemanstown.
that's, Ellen Cohen.
Okay, I'm reading a paper where she made a comment that is very offensive, that she couldn't care less about the bricks. So I think we need to address her too.
Yes. we would-
Because of the fact that I was mentioning to, Winnie, you already have your historical site.
Yes, ma'am.
All you need to do is block it off and make it a walking site,
And that's part of
whereby
it.
it would be untouchable.
That's right.
And it can happen.
It can
With the
happen.
right presentation, and she's the one that you need to talk to. Because
That's
she
right.
represents a district, and like she said, she couldn't care less.
And that
So we
is
need
correct.
to address her, that this is our history,
That's right.
and we need to preserve it for ourselves, future generations, and her generations to come.
There you go. She, you gonna get her to talk, right, Miss Lee?
No. No, I stopped the rail down Winbern Street.
Yeah, I'm serious. We need some seniors talking. Let me tell you something else we're trying to do. I know you all are young and beautiful in your senior years, but we're also trying to find folk who are 100 years old. You know anybody?
No.
We got 100-year-old.
Yeah, close to it.
She's 98. That's my poet, right? But I know she's gonna write a poem. Remember her? What's her name?
Miss Addie.
Miss Addie?
Yes.
We want you to write a poem.
It's added 97. Oh,
Now,
yeah.
yeah,
98, that'd work.
It doesn't matter. I'm not from Houston. I'm from the great state of Mississippi. I'm from Lexington, Holmes County. But you know about black folks, you know about history, you know about preservation. I mean, you know something about our legacy, who we are. And what we're trying to impart to them is why we need to do this. Why we need to do it. We're trying, you have, if you would do it for us, Ms. Addie, we would appreciate it. And you would be the representative from Hobby House with your 98-year-old self. And we have one that's coming, we believe. A couple of them kind of ill, but they're saying if they can get out of bed. There's one from Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church, Miss Jenkins. She's at the Wallop Center House, and she plans to come. She's 100. And then there's another one that's 104, and we're trying to get in touch with this one that's 108. Now, if we can get those 100-year-old people down there, I know you're 70, whatever you all are, can get down there, okay? And that's important. That is so important, because we are just 150 years out of slavery. You know that, right? We have not been free very long, and some of us still aren't free because we aren't free mentally. And so we've got to free ourselves.
Still not free.
Do they know that City Hall is sitting on Freeman's land?
Well,
That was acquired before, and City Hall is sitting on that land.
yes, ma'am.
And so they are made to be aware of the fact they need to pay some rent.
And the rent is going to be leaving on bricks there. No, seriously, wait,
They don't know the history.
Bricks, that's what I'm saying. But we have to tell it.
Yeah.
We have to tell it.
And Ms. Cohen, she's looking out for her people.
That's right.
You know, but it is what it is.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
That's right. So, what I want at City Hall on Tuesday next week at 1:30, I want my senior citizens there. I want the senior citizens there. I need you all there. I need you all there. I need you all to eat your lunch and get on the bus.
All right.
All right?
Y'all hear that?
Yeah, eat your lunch and get on the bus. Okay? Now Miss Blue is going to see if anybody's going to get signed up and take it from here.
Good morning. It may be afternoon now, but I do want to let you know, we won't have you there just hanging. We have a prepared, you can read it. And if you can want to do it, just not reading it, you can do that also. But I'm going to leave the package with Ms. Colley, and what's in the package is a copy of our councilman. It got each district, and you can find out which district you live in, so you will address that councilman, and then you will also address Ellen Cohen. This is the same thing, a list of the district names of your representatives and the districts that they live in. The third page is at our first town hall meeting, we made a list of action points. And you can look at one of these and speak to that one. And we also have, when you call, I'm sorry, I need to go back to the first page. When you call City Hall, if you decide that you would like to speak, the telephone number is on the first page. The city secretary will answer and she will get your name or your telephone number, address, and ask you what would you like to speak to. And they would ask you if you want to speak 1 minute or 2 minutes. I'm sorry, 3 minutes. We have prepared a 1 minute speech and a 3 minute speech. They will ring the bell on you when your time is up, so you will want to try and make it fit just a little less than the time that they have given us. The speech generally goes, and I'm not going to read it all to you, I'm just going to read the introduction. You would say, my name is, and you insert your name or your organization. Say, councilman or councilwoman is you live in their district, but you want to speak to them and Ellen Cohen. Ellen Cohen is the representative for Freedmen's Town. You may be more familiar with it, calling it 4th Ward. But you are addressing all of them. But if you will feel more comfortable in saying, and I share this with a lot of people, Martin Luther King, if you remember, he was accused of being an outsider, an instigator. And he told them that he was a citizen of the United States. And anywhere he went in the United States, if it was Hawaii, it's not joined to the continental part, but he was not an outsider or a foreigner. He was a citizen of the United States. You are a citizen of Houston. So you are not, the councilmen are conscious of being respectful of the person that's over the district, but they should be concerned about all of Houston, not just part of it. And that's Ms. Ellis stressed preservation and not restoration. And preservation, I just want to stress that it means do not pick up one of those bricks, do not move them. There are ways that they can be, there are cement on some of them where they have filled them in when they worked in the street, they did not repair them properly. So it's the city's fault that they did not repair it properly each time they went in there. But I would like to share this with you too. We do have the intention or the thought where the cement is in the bricks that we will put talking information. There will be a like a good walking tour. There will be a metal plate there talking about the history of Freedmen's Town. There will be a metal plate discussing some of the better known people that lived and worked and served and built Freedmen's Town. So there will be a walking tour that you can do on the street, just a tourist attraction. I'm going to leave this package with Ms. Colley, and if you would like to speak, then you can look at this and she will make you a copy and get it to you. Are there questions? Tuesday may seem like a long day for you, but if you make it there, we will make sure that if it's young people sitting there, they will give you will be sitting. Even downstairs, we will make sure there are some benches and steps that you can sit on. So it will be a sacrifice, but we will appreciate it greatly if you are able to get there. Are there questions?
I want to add something to your point. Not only will this be historical, but it could be a national, international tourist attraction.
We've been telling them that, yes.
And that'll bring people all over to
All
see
over the world.
where it started from. And it started in Freedmen's Town.
Yes.
And when they started acquiring land, City Hall took that property, and that's what they're sitting on, Freedmen's land, if they know the significance of that property.